Just having a little bit of fun out here. Just worked on that this morning, so I'd say I did pretty well. Welcome to the GABLE conference. Special thanks to Dance Fix and Heather Britt, the ballet, and Third Anchor Productions for all of what you just saw. Welcome to the conference. How many people here are first-timers? Yeah. I think the actual, the legit statistic is, it's like 44%, which is awesome. So welcome. So a little bit about me. I'm gonna grab the clicker real quick. Gotta find that. Oh, there it is. We're just doing it. Okay. Awesome. There we go. A little bit about me. This is my history slide, career, personal things. Shared this last year. The most noticeable change versus last year is that I have a boyfriend. I'm very fortunate. I'm very excited to have Jay in my life. He's pretty awesome. Why am I actually up here? The key reason that I actually volunteer to do this and want to be up here, spend a lot of time on this, is because I want to help provide managers of others the tools that they need to provide and create an inclusive environment. That's so important to me because I am gay. I am a member of the LGBTQ+ community, and it's very important to my personal experience I've had at P&G. A little bit about my journey. I've been here for just about 8 years now. Started as an intern in Minneapolis, and have a fun little timeline up behind me that I'll actually just share my story. It's probably the easiest way to go about it. So here's me in 2011. Oh, how cute. I look like a little baby. I don't look that much different, but maybe a little bit more fashionable. I don't know. So I started out, I wasn't out. I think that's important to note. And I didn't want to be. I wasn't at that place in my life. I didn't really grasp what it was being gay, the whole gay thing. But yeah, P&G, we love scorecards. So I put up a scorecard. We have business results. Overall, those were a check. I got the job offer, so clearly I did at least what I was supposed to. From a culture standpoint, sure, I'll put a check there. I was pretty active in a lot of our social justice things, worked on some stuff with the soup kitchen, so did what I needed to there. And then from a belief standpoint, yeah, I had the belief. And the belief for me was that I could pursue a career with Procter & Gamble and be able to be gay. I could make this work. That's kind of how I felt at that time. If we flash forward to a full year from there, here's a few pictures from when I had just started out. I think these are New Hire Network, College One, all of that. I look pretty happy in these photos, which is true. In those exact moments, I was pretty happy. The challenge was I wasn't really coming to work and being my full self. The first thing that I remember from my interaction and the environment that I had, I started in Boston, was my manager telling me that they're old school P&G, which for someone that is closeted and feels, I guess, very new school based on society, it was a little scary for me. And I was working remote, so I didn't have an office. It's just a tough environment to kind of be like, hey, I'm gay, what's up? So overall, if I scorecard that time, I had the business results, because those are critical, we always say that. From a culture standpoint, I wouldn't give that a check there. I'd say I was doing the bare minimum, like planning team offsites, things that they kind of have new hires do every now and then on our team. So I was doing a few things. And then from a belief, I just didn't have it. And I think the thing that really stuck out to me was I was told, as far as feedback during performance reviews, I was told that I'm not confident enough. And I thought about it, and they were right. I wasn't confident. I wasn't confident that I'd made the right choice in accepting my job offer and actually starting at this company. And that was hard for me to accept, and it clearly translated into my business results when I would actually present to the customer. So that was hard. That was hard for me to kind of accept and admit, to be transparent. If I flash forward to now, It's been quite a few years since then. I actually ended up coming out to my team. When I was on the CVS team, I came out at one of our offsites around diversity and inclusion, and the response was truly overwhelming. The amount of people that were glad that I shared my story and felt that they finally got to know me and really enjoyed that I shared that. It was great. So if I look at today, where I've been across all of my assignments and where I've lived, business results, gotta always have a check there, right? We wouldn't be working if we didn't have that. But so I had that, and then from a culture standpoint, I would say I'm thriving. I just had a bunch of dancers up here. I'm just doing something pretty fun, right? But no, seriously, I'm able to be involved in GABLE in a way that works well for me. I'm a theater guy. And I'm also able to contribute on the teams that I'm on. I think if you ask anybody that's been on a direct reporting team with me, I'm known as a culture builder, and that's kind of what I do. Yeah, family care, what's up? Got a shout out to them. And then from a belief standpoint, I mean, you can see I'm up here, obviously, so I definitely have the belief, and it does feel like I belong here, which it goes a long way when you're you're working those long hours or working on something that's really tough at work with the people that you know that they have your back. So it's kind of an awesome feeling. So that's my story. This year, the conference, the theme is celebrating 25 years of cultivating change, which is pretty awesome that we've been around for 25 years. Can we get a round of applause for that? Yeah, 25 years. It's awesome. I'm not going to ask who's like under 25 in the room. That'd be just weird. But so I wanted to think about how I could kind of like, how does this theme relate to me, and what does that mean? And for me, it flashes back to 2019, this past summer, the Seattle Pride Parade. So it's the end of the month. You see some pictures from the parade. It was really, a lot of P&G support from that office, and it was a great time. But I had noticed one thing that was really bugging me for call it the first hour to 2 hours of that event, is that I couldn't get engaged in the event. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why am I not able to like just be happy and be a part of this? I have all my friends around me. I just couldn't get into it because I had noticed that, this is what I saw. Like I saw the people saying like, no homo, all of those things there, and then thinking about people that have lost their lives, been victims, in society lately, and just couldn't help but like I couldn't shake that fear of like, oh, something really bad could happen here today because we're actively showing our pride. It was really freaking me out. Like I just couldn't get into it. And I was just like, yeah, I'm great. Yeah, today is awesome. Let's do this. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, where do I run if something happens? Not good, right? So then I looked around about an hour in, and these aren't the pictures of the actual children that I saw, but these are examples of kind of how they were dressed and the joy that was on their face. And go figure, children are the ones that can teach me the lesson. They're just, I love these pictures because they were just so excited and so proud, no fear whatsoever. And I was just like, what is going on that allows them to show up to this pride parade and dress non-gender binary, be excited, and have no fear whatsoever? I need to get more like these kids and just, stop living just in fear. So that really helps kind of bring me back into the event. And I think one thing that kind of helps as we think about what has changed, if we don't feel like anything's changed, I like to look at pop culture. And if you look at these 4 examples right here, it's a sign of the times and what change has happened. First one being RuPaul. If you're not aware of who RuPaul is, I'm shocked that you don't know who RuPaul is, but RuPaul started in the New York drag queen scene, very underground effort, and has built an empire that is doing global tours, employing many, I think it's hundreds at this point, of drag queens, and is also starting a Las Vegas residency, which is wild. Then we flash over to Pose. Pose is a TV show about the trans community and the New York underground ballroom scene. And not only did this show get to air, it got renewed for multiple seasons. And just recently, its star, Billy Porter, won an Emmy Award and made history as the first openly gay black actor to win an Emmy. So clearly, that's pretty awesome and a sign of the times. The third one, I didn't know this until I was doing the research, but Mattel actually just launched, I think it was last month, gender-neutral dolls for kids to play with. And if we think of one industry in particular that perpetuates stereotypes and gender norms, it's the toy industry. So that's pretty awesome. I wish I would have had one of those when I was a kid. And then lastly, of course, let's use a P&G example. We have the Secret commercial where they were heroing a trans female to promote feminine strength, which is awesome. So I think it's important just to, we live the day in, day out, living in the fear of saying like, oh, there's all these bad things happening in the world, but just kind of recognize that there's a lot of awesome things happening that might just be taking time, but they're happening. And the quote that kind of sums this up for me that just made sense is that life is about change. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's beautiful, but most of the time, it's both. So that's the setup for today. That's all I got so far. As far as this morning, we have an agenda that will kind of cover our survey results this morning, and then also we have some awesome speakers that will be speaking before we go to lunch. And then later in this afternoon, we'll actually have David Taylor here, which is pretty cool, and have PFLAG speaking as well. So a couple of logistic things. There's a mother's room back here. There's a gender-neutral restroom over here. If you have any issues figuring out where things are or have questions, there are everyone that's been a part of the conference planning team has a rainbow lanyard around their name tag, so feel free to ask them. And just try to be engaged and enjoy it.